Now I'm forgetting to unmute my microphone. All right.
Welcome to the return of ThrillGeek This Week, Part 2.
This is the return of the return of ThrillGeek This Week.
Of the revenge of ThrillGeek.
All right, everybody in the chat, let me know. Can you hear Barry?
Is there anyone left?
We've lost all of our viewers tonight. They're like, forget these guys. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
This was supposed to start 48 minutes ago.
Yay, Barry. All right. Okay. Really quick, because we got to get going here. For some reason, buried, I'm using this Streamlabs thing, which is like the other version of OBS, for those of you that are like streamer literate. There was a setting buried. They have this new thing called Collab Cam where you can invite people in, which is why I switched to it. We used StreamYard before, very simple to use platform. I've always wanted to use OBS Streamlabs, but it was such a pain to get other people into that. You had to use Zoom and you had to use screen share, and it was a pain. So, anyways, long story short. When I invite him in, I have to add him into the stream, and he's got his audio level right here on Streamlabs. Well, I could hear him on my end. Obviously, you guys couldn't hear him, so I was like, what the hell's going on? Come to find out, there was a setting buried in his mixer audio thing that was monitor. And it was on monitor only. So I could hear him. I could only monitor him, but his output was muted. And apparently that's the default setting, because I've never messed with that setting before, which is, my microphone's all discombobulated here. We're off to a great start, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to ThrillGeek This Week. Anyways, so there was this, long story short, there was this setting buried that, I had to unmute him. So yeah, Barry's back. We're back. Thank you everybody for helping us out in the chat. So yeah, we're here. We're doing it. What were we talking? We were just kind of talking about where we were, what we were doing, taking a break, all that jazz. So yeah, we needed a break. So here we are. We're back.
We have returned. We obviously went to Halloween Horror Nights a lot. Actually, probably I think for the both of us, probably the least amount we've gone in a while in years.
We're just getting too old.
It's I was basically since the last time I was here, it's like I went to Dallas, and went to a concert, saw Gorillaz. Then I went to Dallas again and saw Bandmade. And then I went to Mexico for a week to Puerto Vallarta. And then what we're going to talk about this past week, I was out in California, going to Disneyland and Knott's, and also doing a bunch of LA stuff, like visiting the Comedy Store for the first time, and UCB Theater, and just checking out a bunch of different things. And of course, stopping at, I think we stopped at Leo's Taco Trucks like 4 times for their the best al pastor tacos like anywhere.
Are they like a well-known like food truck out there? Or?
Yeah. There's like 6 of them. And they are known for their al pastor tacos. And
did they live up to the hype?
Oh yeah, we went last time we were there. And so yeah, it was a must stop. And we drove by some of the studios, and we also saw that new Winnie the Pooh musical, which was pretty cute.
Yeah, when you posted that on Twitter, I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." I didn't even know.
It was literally sin. We were landing, and it's like, okay, well, first let's find a place to eat. So we ended up in Hollywood at this place called Home State, which does like Texas style breakfast tacos, which were amazing.
Yeah.
And then she's like, they're doing the Winnie the Pooh musical apparently this month in LA, and because I think it's on like Broadway or off Broadway right now or something.
Yeah.
And we were like, screw it. We like, look, oh, there's tickets. And it was like $35. And we were like, let's
go see Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. I mean, that first day, it's like we did that. And And then we also saw two shows at the UCB theater, which it was the improv sketch group that was started by Amy Poehler and some other actors. So that was really cool. So yeah, we did a bunch of LA stuff. Like I said, saw the studios. Everyone knows my wife is also a makeup artist and hairstylist who works on TV and movies. So we actually went to one of the I think it's two or three makeup Nigel's Beauty Emporium, which is like where like all the TV and film makeup hair artists
Yeah.
shop. And let's just say she spent a lot of money there. Albeit all of it can be written off in her taxes, but it was some of that was really neat because they actually had a whole section that was just FX makeup.
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
Like had all these like appliances and
prosthetics and stuff.
Prosthetics and teeth and like
that's
blood
cool.
packets and kits, for like different types of monsters and stuff. So that was really cool. And main part of the trip was 2 days at Disneyland and a night at doing downtown Disney and doing the original Trader Sam's,
the OG Trader Sam's,
the Enchanted Tiki Bar, and then also a day at Knott's. So, but
only thing exciting I've done in the past 3 months is gone on a cruise.
Yeah, you went on a Disney cruise. So
yeah, we took the kids and went on the Dream, which was fun. It was all about them. And then we got back from that, and it was like media event after media event after media event. It was. We stayed at Gaylord Palms with the kids. They invited us out to go check out Ice with the Grinch. So they put us up for a couple nights there, and they gave us tickets to all the Christmas stuff. Kids had an absolute blast. It's cool to see Ice back after a couple years off from COVID, because they get the ice carvers from they're from China. They're all Chinese, and they couldn't get them over here because of COVID. So they were able to get them over this year and pull off Ice, which is really cool this year with Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Looked really cool. So we did that, and then what else did we do? Like I said, it was literally.
I'm gonna say I feel like the last 3 months is probably we've gone to more media events than I think we ever have.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
In the last
like I said,
months.
when we got back from the cruise, it was Gaylord Palms. It was Universal's holiday media event for all their Christmas stuff.
The night before you left on the cruise, we went to Fantasmic.
Yeah, which was we should that was fun. That was the Fantasmic that got rained out about a quarter or so away through the show. And then Disney was nice enough to invite us back, and actually I went with Emily that time because you were, I think that was when you were in Mexico, right?
Yeah, I was in Mexico.
So Disney was nice enough to invite us back out for another viewing of Fantasmic, which went off without a hitch. So we got to finally see the whole show, which, by the way, is absolutely amazing now. The upgrades that they did to not only the show, but the special effects, the lasers, the lighting, everything looks amazing with that show, and it got a lot of TLC.
Still not up there with Disneyland, but it's definitely higher than it was before.
It moved up a little bit, yeah.
It still has the one big flaw that it's always had is the bubble sequence goes on for way too long.
Yeah.
Without any sort of breakup, which Disneyland's version does have.
Yeah.
The new sequences are absolutely amazing.
The Frozen, Aladdin, and Moana.
Yeah, and Pocahontas.
And Pocahontas, yeah, sorry.
And the just everything, all the brand. I think we had said when we saw it, like the lighting, the lasers, the new lighting, the lasers, the upgrade of the sound system were probably even the most impressive parts of the whole thing. Was just, It added a whole new level to the older sections of the show, even to the point that we always our Maleficent dragon is basically a head on a stick.
Yeah.
Unlike Disneyland's. But the new lighting and I think the update of the LEDs on the dragon wings actually makes ours look very good.
Yep.
For the first time. So it's a way better show. I enjoyed it, and actually, unlike before, I actually, well, if I'm closing out Hollywood Studios, there's probably more than likely I'm going to go see that show.
Yeah, it
So
was it was really good. What they did with the show and excuse me, all the upgrades were absolutely excuse me again, were absolutely fantastic. So there was that, and I'm trying to do a crash course of just getting caught up on stuff we haven't really chatted about. What
I
was
mean, I think we went to you guys went to the Universal Holiday thing. I just feel like this year with holidays, there's really here. There's not much. There's really almost nothing new.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot
Um,
of new stuff as far as Christmas stuff goes. I mean, Gaylord
it's
Palms, they bought Ice back. But as far as theme parks go, Disney and Universal, and SeaWorld and Busch, there's really not anything new. Legoland, it's pretty much the same holiday stuff that they have year round. It's nice to have it back. SeaWorld did bring back A Wondrous Night, which
Wondrous
was
Night.
which
Yeah,
was fantastic
that's
news.
about the only thing that I can think of.
That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that's new as far as or new-ish.
Which will tie into what I'm going to talk about at Disneyland, because
Which I think we can get going on here, because I can't think of anything else
no.
that we haven't talked about that we've media events or anything like that. I just wanted to do a quick crash course of getting caught up with stuff that we've been to, media events, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that's good for now. If something comes up, I'll randomly blab about it. So, anyways, so yeah, let's start talking about your trip to Disneyland, California. You did Knott's Berry Farm out there, Knott's Merry Farm, I guess I should say, during the holiday season.
Yes.
And so, where do you want to start? Do you want to start off chatting about Disneyland? Where do you want to start?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and go straight into Disneyland. It had been, I guess,
When's the last time you were there?
5 years. I thought it was 4, but it was actually 5. And it's been over 10 since I've done the holiday season at Disneyland, and it was Sin's first time going to Disneyland for the holiday season. And I will say what everyone else says: the holidays at Disneyland / DCA completely blow Disney World out of the water now. It's not even a contest anymore. It's not even close.
And this is just stuff that happens during the day, like for regular park guests, right?
Yes, all of you don't have to pay extra for anything, which I will get into to the one thing we do have better. I will say this: the Christmas Fantasy Parade, it needs to be it needs to be replaced. I know people love it, but it's
nostalgia.
It's a boring parade.
Yeah.
And I will say that's the one thing. Our Once Upon a Christmas Time parade is better, but then on the other hand, you don't have to pay extra to see Christmas Fantasy.
Yeah.
So I will say that's the one up it has, but it's just it's gotten very long in the tooth, and it hasn't aged well at all. And they really need to do something about that parade, because it just doesn't it was enjoyable, but it was it wasn't something even Sin, who was a sucker for parades, was sort of bored.
Yeah.
So it's I but on the other hand,
I'm rewinding on the Twitter here so I can kind of go through it while you're talking. So if I'm
one of the biggest changes, obviously since the last time was there, is DCA's Festival of the Holidays is just gigantic.
Yeah.
There is so much entertainment. For their between the mostly kosher band, which, hey, remember that we had that one year at Epcot, for the Hanukkah part, and of course that lasted a year. And now we just get like one guy.
I'm afraid to switch scenes here. I'm going to jump over to the screen share. Let's hope this works.
But I mean, between that and there's a Diwali show, and then there's just multiple bands.
Yeah.
And that's before you even get to Viva Navidad, the street party, which is hands down one of the best Disney holiday shows I've ever seen. because it's just it's Mexican dancers, it's Brazil drummers and samba dancers, and then you got the three caballeros and Mickey and Minnie, and then you got these really cool almost like folk art type
Here's the
sort
clip.
of
I
mini
got the clip playing
floats.
on the Twitter right now.
Yeah. Well, that's and then there's it's just there's Mickey's Little Happy Holidays. That's just like that one right there. That's just
Oh,
like a
this is
short.
this is the Mickey's Happy Holidays cavalcade.
Yeah, it's just a cavalcade, but that goes through multiple times a day.
Here we go. Here's the clip
Yeah.
of the Viva Navidad.
Viva Navidad. Yeah,
Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, it's amazing, and it's if we would have had more time, we would have gone and seen it again. There's just so much holiday entertainment at DCA alone.
Yeah.
On top of World of Color Season of Light, which was absolutely amazing. I love those of you who know us, I love World of Color is one of my favorite Disney nighttime shows. And this one it's completely different than the other World of Color show. And they do so much in that show. And just they use one of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra songs, and that thing it is nuts. Just
oh, really? They use a TSO song? That's cool.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I'm trying to remember off the top of my. It's one of the familiar ones.
Is it their Carol of the Bells one, or?
I don't think it's Carol of the Bells. I think it's one of the other ones.
They have a few that are pretty popular that you hear over and over this time of the year.
It's just an amazing show. And on top of all that, there's just so much holiday stuff. And then you got the holiday food booths, which all the stuff we tried the holiday ham slider, which was amazing. And the impossible meatloaf, which was really good. So just there is so much. And then, like I said, there was a couple of shows we didn't even get to see. Yeah. That's how much holiday stuff is going on in that park.
Now, I know it's California. How were the prices on like the food at the holiday booths?
I thought they weren't too bad. They were comparable to here. I definitely felt like the food prices were slightly higher at Disneyland.
Here's Sin meeting Mirabelle.
Yeah, well then there's the other thing. They have Mirabelle.
Yeah.
Not only do they have Mirabelle in California Adventure, they have Mirabelle in Disneyland.
Yeah.
What a concept. Yeah, let's talk about the amount of characters that are just out and about.
Yeah.
In both parks is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They also, next to Mirabelle over there, they also had the three Caballeros, like all three.
Yeah.
For meet and greets. And the only one we didn't have, I guess normally sometimes Miguel comes out. We actually didn't. That was the one person I guess she wanted that we didn't see.
From Coco, Miguel, yeah.
And
I was like Miguel.
Yeah. So it's the characters are everywhere. And one of the things, if you've been to Disneyland, DCA, love the fact that they're just walking a lot of times, except for some dedicated meet and greets, they're just walking around. We were walking through a part of Disneyland and there was just Belle and Gaston like walking through the crowd,
Yeah. All right. Speaking of characters, let's talk Avengers Campus.
Yeah, let's get to the other main thing with DCA. Loved Avengers Campus. All the shows, especially the Dora Milaje show, and the newest one, M'Baku's The Way of the Jabari show, were excellent. The two weakest shows were probably the Spider-Man show, even though it was cool to see the Stuntronic in person. In person, it really does look.
Well, that's all he does, right? He comes out and he does the Stuntronic thing, does the flip, and then he comes out and doesn't he he crawl down the wall or something?
He crawls up the wall, walks across the catwalk area, does some flips and stuff like that. disappears. The Stuntronic flies across, and then he comes back and crawls down the wall and then leaves.
And then that's it.
It's a 3-minute show.
Yeah. It's nothing like a 10, 15-minute show or anything like that. It's
and it was cute. I mean, like I said, the videos do not do the Stuntronic justice as far as it looks like a human being in real life.
Yeah.
And then the Avengers Assemble show was the holiday version of the show. With Hawkeye and Kate and the Russian goons attacking.
Oh yeah. I was trying to remember what the Avengers show was. I haven't seen.
Yeah, well, it's there's a holiday version they have. I guess they started last year with when the Hawkeye show debuted.
Well, what's the holiday version versus?
It has Hawkeye and Kate from the show.
Do they all come out in Santa hats or something?
There's some Christmas decorations up on the whole balcony area that's up there.
Yeah.
And then the tracksuit guys, the guys in the tracksuits. Attack.
Now I noticed
Hawkeye.
in this clip of Captain Marvel, do they do holiday decorations in Avengers Campus? I see this. I'm like,
that's
Christmas garland.
That garland's like for the Avengers Assemble show, the holiday show. So it was cute, but like I said, the best shows were obviously the two Wakanda shows, and then the Doctor Strange show was amazing. And especially I know I'm not the only one who says that when you go see that show, see it at night. Because the lighting and everything is so cool.
Yeah, the sanctuary looks really cool at night with all
the
mood lighting and everything.
I was glad I had only seen like a few clips from the show because I didn't know about that a guest would show up in the show.
Oh yeah, well I think you posted that on the or no, you posted on your
I posted
personal Twitter, didn't you? I saw who shows up. Yeah,
but that was really neat. The characters walking around, we didn't get to see everybody.
Yeah, I noticed you didn't even get to see. You failed on Grogu and Black Panther. You failed miserably on this trip.
When we post on, she's briefly in the Dora Milaje show.
Yeah.
She's up on the balcony. Yeah, I mean you can get to see all the characters, and there are different characters that are during the day and then in the evening.
Yeah.
Like in the evening, it usually hit Thor, Loki was walking around, Black Widow.
I loved that clip you got of Loki telling the kid he fell for like 30 minutes one time or something like that.
Yeah, and I will say some of the characters are better than the others. The guy who they got to do M'Baku, he looks amazing and just has the voice and just everything.
Yeah.
The one
usually the Lokis look pretty good.
The Loki looks good. The Thor looked good. Iron Man's armor and looks wonky as hell in person.
I've always had an issue with his armor in Avengers Campus. It just looks cheap.
It looks cheap.
I mean, I get it, they can't recreate a full on Iron Man suit. There has to be it has to be easy for the person that wears it to get in and out of. But I
think that's why, like, we. Every so often they'll be by one of the Avengers symbols and by the Avengers, like I don't know, Hummer or whatever it is, vehicle, taking pictures. I never saw Iron Man walking around. The couple of times I saw him down on the ground, he was always just only posing for pictures.
Yeah.
Whereas Ant-Man and Wasp walking around.
Excuse me.
So it's
all right. Let's talk about the
rides.
I said,
it's luck. If you hang out there for a long time, you'll get to see all the characters, but you're gonna have to hang out. So
you're gonna have to kind of just hang out in there and just chill and watch characters come in.
Spider-Man.
I have the clip from the pre-show with Tom Holland from Web Slingers. So how was Web Slingers? First off, tell everybody that what it's like.
I want to say it's basically like the Ninjago, right?
It's
It
as a
is.
lot of people
You're
said,
literally
you're
like
doing this
for the whole
the
time.
whole
I mean,
ride.
albeit the quality is 100 times better. The
Sure.
visuals on the attraction were really cool. The pre-show is really fun. Seeing all the web bots, you'll see them crawl. You'll see like I guess they built fake vents, and you see the web bots crawling through the vents,
Oh, so there's
all in
like
the
screens inside the vents. That's
yeah
cool.
inside the vents. So it was fun, but it was one and done for us.
Yeah.
It's like what would I rather do again? That or go ride Mission Breakout again? I think I'll go ride Mission Breakout again. I
Um,
mean, right now, Guardians Mission Breakout is the signature attraction of that land.
yeah.
It's Spider-Man's not even on the same level of
Yeah.
that attraction, and it's it's basically you're in a vehicle and you go past a couple of sets, but it's mostly giant screens,
Yeah.
and the vehicle doesn't really react that much either. So
Yeah.
it's just it is what it's a giant version of Toy Story Mania.
I'm sure the kids
Um,
love it.
the
I'm
kids
sure the
love it.
little the little ones
It
love it.
didn't stop me from buying this really cool button up.
I saw that. Yeah, the white one. That was cool. That
Yeah,
shirt was really cool.
yeah, that it does. That's the one that that and and I think I probably personally tweeted that attraction and Mission Breakout have a lot of really cool merch and really cool attraction specific merch. What a concept, Disney. Um, the Guardians Mission Breakout alone had like 3 adult T-shirts, 2 kids shirts that all had Mission Breakout, and I did buy the hoodie. Um,
Shocked.
the Mission Breakout hoodie. And it's like, hey, that would be great for Cosmic Rewind if we actually had merch.
Yeah, I was gonna say for
Um,
those not catching Barry's drift, we've always had a gripe. Disney doesn't have Cosmic Rewind specific
specific
merchandise.
merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had some of the same Guardians merch there that we have. But no, I mean, Avengers Campus is a neat addition. I think whenever they build the Avengers ride, it's really going to cement itself. I guess probably the shocking thing is that land is not that big.
Yeah.
It's not very big at all, and I mean to the point that yeah, they have the Avengers campus store is on in one of the Hollywood land, you know, I guess soundstage slash private party areas.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have outside of the Spider-Man store. It doesn't have a real dedicated store, which once again we don't understand the building of lands without like actual stores, aka Toy Story Land.
Yeah. Just
but
stalls.
but I mean, Avengers Campus is a really cool addition but it's to DCA. But once again, you walk right over to Cars Land, and as much as I like Avengers and MCU more than the Cars movies, Cars Land is still just jaw-droppingly amazing,
Yeah.
and even more so during the holidays with the lights and the decorations. And Maters and Luigi's both have holiday versions,
Yeah. I
and I
can't wait to
love.
see that. I mean, the last time we were at Disneyland, Cars. This is gonna date how long it's been since I've been to Disneyland. Cars Land didn't have Halloween, or no, it didn't have Halloween stuff yet. I don't think it did, and it definitely didn't have Christmas stuff. So
Yeah.
I see the Christmas stuff from Cars Land online. I'm like, it looks so cool. Even the Halloween stuff looks
Oh
really
no,
cool.
it looks amazing, and especially at night, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, that land's already beautiful at night.
Yeah,
And
when they do the whole show, when they kick on the neon lights and everything,
yeah,
it's so cool.
and Radiator Springs Racers is still an absolutely amazing attraction. It's still one of
So
the
much
best.
fun. Yeah,
So much fun.
I
We
love
got to
that
do
ride.
it. We got to do Incredicoaster. It was definitely
How are the
weird.
updates on that?
I actually liked it, and it's another one that works better at night. Because the effects in the tunnels definitely work better.
I've heard people say the launch tunnels, the effects look so much better at night because during the
Yeah.
day you can see everything.
Yeah, it works so much better at night. It's still California Screaming before was always one of my favorite Disney coasters. Um and so it's
Yeah,
still fun.
it's actually a fun coaster without whatever theming.
Yeah, no, it didn't
California Screaming
matter.
was always been a fun coaster.
And I mean, where can you go wrong because you have a Michael Giancano soundtrack.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah.
mean, those of us who know, most of us, The Incredibles, both movies are probably two of my favorite Pixar soundtracks of any of them. But no, the Pixar Pier stuff, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's had that opinion. It
Yeah.
just looks so weird and cheap.
Yeah.
But other than that, the funny thing is we never even went to where Soren is. We didn't spend any time in that
Oh,
because
the
it's
whole bear. I don't even know the name of
Red
that area.
Creek.
Red
Oh yeah,
Creek Bear, whatever it is.
Condor
Yeah.
Flats. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
we didn't
Yeah.
even go to those parts of the park because there was so much holiday stuff and Cars Land and Avengers, and we even rode Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only negative aspect right now to that park, before we move over to Disneyland, is just the fact that the Hyperion Theater is sitting there empty. There's no show in there, and I think, out of that, except for that, that's really the only negative thing I can say about DCA right now. They're, like I said, with the holidays and everything, there's so much entertainment that we didn't even get to see everything. Um,
What was in Hyperion Theater? Frozen.
Frozen was in
It was
Hyperion
Frozen,
Theater.
right? Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
And we saw some of the special Wakanda Forever stuff, and it was lackluster.
The special like food booth that they added for
Yeah,
Wakanda
it's his
Forever.
food
Yeah, it
booth,
looks
and then
kind of
there was
weird.
this other area with like a Black Panther, mini Black Panthers, the giant Black Panther thing.
It's like a sculpture thing, right?
Yeah,
like
and it was just sort of
it looked like it was thrown together kind of
Yeah,
last minute.
it's
It didn't look like anything spectacular. So.
No, but everything else in the park, all the holiday decorations throughout the entire park.
Yeah.
There's another concept, Disney. Maybe you want to bring that to Disney World. But it's I liked even old version of DCA, but DCA is just, it's such an amazing park now, and during the holidays it's next tier.
Which is
But
so
then,
funny because that park had such a rocky start at the beginning.
no,
and now
it
it's
did
become
have a rocky start, and
it's
you know,
become a really great park.
I would rank it as my number two. Disneyland's my number one U.S. park. DCA is probably my number, especially with Avengers Campus now.
Yeah.
It's probably my number two U.S. Disney park.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as enjoyment and fun and just things to do. Then across the Esplanade is of course Disneyland. Yeah. Here's what I'll say. Number one, there's holiday decorations throughout almost the entire freaking
There's
park.
the Disneyland tree.
Yeah, their tree looks 100 times better than ours.
There's Main Street. Oh, I missed the wreaths overhead.
That's the biggest thing that I think that really.
But it covers up the little castle so much down there.
Really is the fact that they still have the wreaths going across.
There's the train station.
The castle still has actual lights and decorations on it, unlike our projection mapping castle. Yeah, their tree is 100 times better than ours.
Yeah, their tree looks amazing.
There's decorations throughout the park. Believe in Holiday Magic, even though shockingly that show is 22 years old now.
Yeah,
it's still probably my favorite Disney holiday nighttime show.
Oh, really?
Just because that ending, the White Christmas ending to that show, is still all these years later still magical.
Yeah.
And then let's get into the two main attractions.
What do I got up here on Twitter? Oh, the Snow White attraction. Yeah, because you wrote that. It got some updates.
Yeah, Snow White looks it almost makes me sick now that we lost ours, because if we could have gotten this update,
yeah,
wow, it is amazing now. It's really taking the updates to that, and they've updated. I forgot when they updated their Alice in Wonderland, Those look amazing.
It looks like it got a lot of like just visual upgrades
Oh
from
yeah,
like video.
Enchanted Wish is just it's yeah, like people complain, oh well, there's no longer the witch at the end trying to dump the rock on you, but now it has a more coherent storyline.
Makes a little more sense now. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just the updates they did to it were amazing. It's a Small World holiday is the best version of It's a Small World. I mean,
Yeah.
period, hands down. There's no, and they're it's stunning at night with all the lights. And then the attraction itself is just, even I feel like since the last time I rode it, they have plussed it so much over the years. And of course, the two big additions, which will be coming to all the small worlds around the world, is the addition of two children in wheelchairs.
Yeah, that was really cool. I know you sent me the clip of that, the ones in the wheelchair,
Yeah,
which is really cool.
that was really cool addition, but it's just that, and I
I don't
just
know
feel
if
like
you.
Disneyland's It's a Small World just has a charm that's different from ours. Um, so it's a great thing, and it's something definitely we've wished for years that they would finally bring here. Um,
Yeah.
it would be you would go down, scroll down, it would be the second day.
I was gonna say
Um,
I'm scrolling
but
here. I didn't. Did you post a clip of the It's a Small World on the Twitter?
I think I might have just posted a picture of the one of the wheelchairs
Haunted
kids.
Mansion Holiday.
Yeah, we did that the first night.
Snow White. Can't find it, but anyways, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sit here and search for it.
Well, you're still on the first day. You haven't.
Yeah,
done
I'm scrolling up here as I go. It's
Yeah,
kind of a mishmash of.
But of course, that leads us to Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Here we go. Second day. Here we go. Here's the wheelchair shot.
Yeah, there's the wheelchair shot in Mexico, and then she's again in the finale.
So that's really cool that they include those now in the ride.
No, and it's something that will be coming to all the small worlds. But no, I mean we it's something we wish we had here.
There's a lot of things we wish we had
Yeah,
here in Orlando.
It's just it's once again like I said, not to beat a dead horse, but it's just the holiday. I tell people all the time, it's like, oh, well, I want to come to Disney World for the holidays. It's like, go to Disneyland. Don't come here for the holidays.
Yeah.
Go to Disneyland if you want to experience like the best Disney holiday celebration.
Yeah.
Because it isn't here. And so no, and then of course Haunted Mansion Holiday. Clint and I are obviously huge Haunted Mansion fans.
Yes, we are.
We're more fans, I feel like, of our facade, our mansion, as opposed to the plantation one at Disneyland.
Yeah. I've never go ahead with your.
But for Haunted Mansion Holiday, it is the most jaw-droppingly beautiful thing at night. It is just hands down stunning. Is doesn't even do
here's some
justice.
Pictures for those watching.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like I mean I think it definitely made sin shed a tear.
Now, if this was the permanent facade, it would probably be my favorite. But just the Bear Plantation facade, I've never been a huge fan of.
I've never been a huge fan of it.
I've always been a fan. You hit the nail on the head. I've been a fan of our facade here. That kind of mansion. I don't know how to. What kind of architecture is that? Ours here at Disney World.
No, it's like our after going to all three Haunted Mansions. I'm not counting Phantom Manor in this.
Yeah.
It's like our Tokyo's has the best queue.
Yeah.
And also has our facade. Ours looks the best from the distance, like just its location. Our flaw is our queue is awful.
Yeah, agreed.
You don't see the mansion really from our queue. Disneyland's, it's the plantation one to me is always been sort of blah, but that was sort of the point in the beginning, at least, that it was supposed to be
Yeah, it was supposed to blend in with the New Orleans kind
with
of surrounding
Square.
environment. Yeah, yeah.
Haunted Mansion Holiday, though, and especially at night, it's light years again ahead of. And it's hard for me to remember. Haunted Mansion Holiday in Tokyo definitely had some stuff, but not on the level that Disneyland's does. And just the how it's lit up at night, and then how the that hypnotic cue music they play.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it's
And
just it's just
love the stretching room. When Jack
oh
crashes through and he says, does he say Happy Halloween? I can't remember what he
well
says when he
since
crashes.
since I had last been on that one, they now use projection on because used to be it was a giant jackhead.
Yeah.
Now it's actually a projection
Yeah, I think it was
of
I think it was a projection when we were there the last time we were there.
Tokyo still has the giant. It's still like the scrim reveals, and you see the giant
Yeah,
jackhead.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at some point, I don't know when they went to projection at all at Disneyland's.
Yeah.
So that looked incredibly cool. The stretching room at Disneyland is just such a different experience because you're dropping.
Yeah.
Um, and then you walk through the portrait hall, and I feel like you know the thing that Haunted Mansion Holiday has brought to Disneyland's mansion is the fact that since they have to install it and then take it out every year, Disneyland's mansion gets way more TLC than any of the than
Yeah.
outside of maybe Tokyo's, and it just it's such an amazing setup, and the things they do a little bit different every year for Disneyland's. I mean, it's just everything. The Jack animatronic is stunning. Um, all the additional things they add throughout the entire attraction. And then finally, also for me, finally getting to see the Hatbox Ghost. Um,
That's right. You haven't seen
and
it yet.
he's the
I
one
forgot.
he's the one thing they don't mess with at all.
Yeah,
outside of
he's just
putting
there,
some
right?
So they put some presents around him, but that's the one thing they don't mess with.
I forgot you hadn't seen Hatbox
No,
Ghost yet.
and so that was cool. And of course, he's finally coming our way. Um, which fingers crossed. Hopefully, our mansion will also, which needs some TLC right now.
Yeah, it does.
But it's just an amazing event, and just reminds us once again that originally we were supposed to get it,
Yeah.
and then we didn't, and that's why Tokyo has it.
Yep.
And that, to me, to this day, it bugs me. And people are always like, well, they don't want to have to go down and blah blah blah. I was like, I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah.
I would happily
I would
have
happily
it
wait.
every single year. At this point, I would just be happy to have Country Bear Christmas back.
Right.
Just something unique for the holidays. Besides, it's like, we have Jingle Cruise. Yeah, because Jingle Cruise costs the least amount of money of any holiday overlay. I mean, Jingle Cruise, Disneyland doesn't even do Jingle Cruise anymore.
Yeah.
But that's how hard up we are for even some sort of holiday overlay. Is Jingle Cruise is like hugely popular here.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else. And also, just the fact that the entire park's decorated for Christmas, where we Magic Kingdom sort of, for lack of a better term, half-asses it.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's Disneyland. It's just, Disneyland is a different experience. I'll get into the only big disappointment at Disneyland is the current state of Indiana Jones Adventure.
That's what you were saying. It's in pretty rough shape.
It is in rough. I have never seen it this bad. Major effects are broken throughout the entire attraction that we only rode it once, which never happens.
Yeah.
When we go to Disneyland, it was that disappointing. and we know now it's going down in January, and hopefully for a through sometime in the spring. So
Yeah, it's
it,
closing January 9th. I think it was announced for a refurbishment into the spring. So
yeah,
hopefully,
they fix everything, and it's past due for a lot of tech upgrades, especially after riding Tokyo Disney Seas one. It's like their Disneyland's is not even in the same league as that one. Um, so it's I hope it gets a lot of TLC, and I hope they finally maybe make some do some tech updates that can bring back or new versions of some of the effects that have been lost over the years.
well,
But yeah,
doesn't uh, Tokyo has Journey to the Center of the Earth, right? That's the same platform as.
yeah. It uses the Journey and Center uses the test track platform.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I couldn't
but
remember if that uses the same
nah,
same ride
it's only Dinosaur that uses the same
as Indiana Jones. Yeah.
as Indiana Jones. But no, it was that was the only disappointment. We did not. We went into Galaxy's Edge. Unfortunately, we never saw Grogu.
Fail
um,
again.
I mean, and that was going in there 3 times and hanging out for a while. Like I said, if you saw we post, we ran into Fennec Shand.
Yeah, I had the clip
She's
here
just
somewhere.
wandering around. Same thing. I saw Chewie and Ray just wandering around.
Where did I see it?
Nobody even really bothering them.
No, it wasn't this far.
It was the beginning. It was towards the beginning of the second day.
You were just all over the place. There's M'Baku.
Yeah.
An Avengers Campus that we missed talking about. That we were talking about. Fennec, where are you? Where are you? There's Avengers Campus.
But keep going. But no, I mean, and that was a really cool interaction.
No, I went past it again.
It's hard to tell because we retweeted a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, and the coolest thing about Galaxy's Edge, is it's completely separated from the rest of Disneyland. It even more so than ours is at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
It is really like completely like its own separate world in Disneyland, and which is weird to begin with. But it's definitely it was definitely neat. We didn't ride any attractions because we tried to avoid doing stuff. Yeah, there it is. That we have here. So there's some parts of their Galaxy's Edge that's a little bit different than ours, but everything else is exactly the same.
And she was just free roaming, right? She wasn't with like
no, she is just free roaming. And once again, like Disneyland, it's like sometimes these characters get to roam, and no one was even bothering her. So she just walked right up to Sin and started.
You could not have that here at Disney World.
Oh no, she would be mobbed.
She would be mobbed, which is why we don't have nice things over here at Disney World, because she would be mobbed by people.
Yeah.
She would.
Well, it's like I walked past Ray and just said, "Hey," no one was bothering her.
What's up, Ray?
And so it's it was neat. Just trying to think. Sin finally got to ride Space Mountain. It was closed last time. That's still my favorite Space Mountain. People complain about Left Turn the Ride or whatever as much as they want. That soundtrack is just so much.
Left Turn the Ride.
The soundtrack.
I've never heard that before. People call it that.
Or left or right turn. You do a lot of turning.
Yeah. I can see it. I've never heard anybody call it Left Turn the Ride. That's pretty funny.
Or but yeah, just the fact that it has that Michael Giacchino soundtrack that's just so freaking good.
How was Disneyland's Trader Sam's?
Yeah, we went to the in between theme park days. We did a sort of a hotel downtown Disney thing.
There's
Trader
Space
Sam's was really cool. We got one of the drinks that isn't here, which was $60-something.
Woo!
For the was it the Sea Monsters Revenge or something? It's a 2-person drink that comes in a giant bowl.
Yeah.
Um,
Here it is right here.
yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like 60 something dollars.
Was it
I,
good for
oh, it was a great,
$60?
it was a great drink. But I mean, you're paying for the bowl, for the
Yeah.
bowl.
Well, you got to keep
Because
the
we
bowl,
want,
right?
because they that one, and then there's a barrel, or like their two unique drinks that they don't have. And then basically they have the menu of the Tangaroa Terrace,
Yeah.
um, as basically food menu. So they actually have a little, I guess, a little bit bigger food menu than ours does. Um, so we had a great time there. The bar itself is just so much cooler than ours, but then apparently ours has more of the drinks have like effects that happen
Yeah.
than theirs. Um,
Ah, interesting.
but the inside of theirs looks way better than ours.
Yeah. Is it
So it was
smaller than ours, bigger than ours, size-wise?
that's a good question. We had a talk with the bartender about
Because
that.
ours
About
here is pretty small.
I think their inside is a little bit bigger. Um, it was just really cool. And it was a lot easier to get into. We basically walked up to the thing, and I think we ended up having to wait 40 minutes
Yeah.
instead of, ours is like ridiculous, sometimes trying to get into.
You also got to
Um,
take a stroll around the Disneyland Hotel, check out some things, do some sightseeing
yeah,
around there.
the Disneyland hotel is really cool because it's got that mid-century modern theme to it. So that was really cool. And then of course we also went over to the Grand Californian, which is basically their version of Wilderness Lodge, um, which was really neat.
That's where we stayed last time we were there because we're ballers. Not really.
Yeah, I looked at what the price was right now,
Because we got a nice.
and the cheapest thing I saw while we were there was like $540 a night at the Disneyland hotel.
Yeah.
And we walked downtown Disney. Like downtown Disney's not that big. It's nice.
They
But
got some
there's
holiday decorations.
yeah, it's not Disney Springs. And there's obviously a lot of stuff that was there that's gone now.
Well, they're doing a lot of work, aren't they? Adding a couple new restaurants and stuff and everything.
Yeah, they've got there's one whole building that's like empty, but then there's like a whole section that's fenced off and
There's a
stuff.
Grand Californian.
Yeah,
The gingerbread house. That's cool.
yeah, they had a gingerbread house. They actually had some live entertainment, and they had Santa in the lobby while we were
Yeah,
there.
there's entertainment.
So that was actually pretty neat. Like I said, it was a nice little spend a few hours just strolling around. And to sort of wrap up, it's just Disneyland is a different experience. Disneyland DCA is a different experience than here, but once again, it's one I prefer compared to here. Now it's just, yeah, people are always like, we have the resorts. It's like, yeah, but we have a bunch of half-ass parks for lack of a better term.
I've always been wondering if, the reason, in particular Magic Kingdom, the reason why they don't do the whole park and holiday decorations is because people don't want that park touched.
Which is so weird because Disneyland has way more like psycho fan people than we do.
Yeah, but they're not traveler. I think Disneyland has a more bigger local.
Well, see, I think the thing that's weird is like we used to do all these types of things.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is the holiday parties were originally sort of started for the locals.
Yeah.
Hey, come out after, because the park used to close at 7:00.
Yeah.
Most of like December and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, come out, in the evening to check out the holiday stuff, which all used to be included daily.
Yeah.
We used to do the Christmas parade every day. I mean, heck, people seem to forget we used to have like Easter parades.
Yeah.
We used to have like seasonal stuff, and it's just the amount of entertainment at both parks there just dwarfs. I mean, just is it really that was the thing to me that just makes the biggest difference is the amount of entertainment there just makes our parks look so pitiful.
Yeah.
The amount of characters there, um, just it's it just makes things, and anytime I go to Disneyland itself, for the next time I walk into Magic Kingdom, it's just disappointment.
Just depression kicks in, and
And in Disneyland has a charm
oh
that
yeah,
Magic
there's that
Kingdom.
vibe when you walk down the main street of Disneyland versus the main street of Magic Kingdom. It's night and day.
Oh,
I
the
mean,
Magic Kingdom, and I hate to say it, Magic Kingdom used to have a little bit more charm, but over the years of them, basically, bulldozing most of the entire hub and ripping out all the trees and stuff, and
yeah,
just so many things have changed that it doesn't have that charm anymore. And it's just a different vibe at Disneyland compared to both. And we used Genie Plus both days. I will say that to me is I will agree with most people. It's a freaking pain in the ass.
yeah,
The amount of time you got to spend on your phone
yeah.
and to set alarms, it's just to stay on to milk Genie Plus for all it's worth,
The
which
one
we
time,
did.
the one time
We
we did Genie Plus with the family, the obnoxious thing is you have to have somebody constantly on your phone
yeah,
all the time, booking the next reservation,
yeah,
checking what's available.
yeah,
And I think just from that perspective, it's obnoxious because it's taking away from you enjoying time with your family. You're constantly on your phone trying to reserve, get your next reservation, seeing what's available, blah 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 blah.
yeah. It's a pain.
Yeah,
It's definitely it's I spent way more time on my phone than I ever normally would, and just to milk it for all it's worth.
yeah,
And I will say this, it works way better at DCA and Disneyland. Number one, because you can't book until you're in the park.
yeah,
That's a huge thing.
yeah,
Which means like we had no problem getting Guardians, no problem getting Haunted Mansion, Holiday, and anything. We had never had a problem getting any of it, and it's busy. Those parks were busy on a
yeah,
Tuesday and Thursday. I could not believe how many people were there. I mean, people complain about crowds here.
yeah.
There's nothing compared to there on a weekday. I can't even imagine what a weekend is like at those places. Um,
All right, we've been chatting for Disneyland for a while now. Let's wrap up really quick. You also went to Knott's Berry Farm, aka during the holidays. So really quick, tell us about how you're, because you just went there for one day, right?
Yeah, we just went there for one day, and Knott's was nice enough to give us a couple of tickets to check out Knott's Berry Farm. I hadn't been to Knott's in a while, and this was Sin's first time at Knott's, and it is such a fun, lovely park, and it has such a different vibe. Number one, just because of Ghost Town alone.
Yeah, Ghost Town's
Um,
really cool.
Ghost Town is so cool, and during the holidays, it's all decorated. There's lights everywhere. They bring in different artists, have booths all throughout Ghost Town,
Yeah,
selling all kinds of different crafts and
that's
stuff.
cool.
That's really cool. And then there's holiday food booths throughout the park, and then at the different food stands, it's probably got, as far as like holiday festivals go, the amount of different types of foods is crazy. They have at
But
that
you
park.
ate at Mrs. Knott's chicken dinner.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like by law, if you go to Knott's Berry Farm, you're going to go to Mrs. Knott's Chicken Dinner Restaurant. And
Look at those
those
chicken
things, those
biscuit
things,
sliders.
those are supposed to be sliders.
They're like
Those were
sandwiches.
and apparently it was just a new. They always had the chicken sliders, but this is new with them using the biscuits.
Yeah, that's
Um,
insane. Like they
those
look like
things were.
legit sandwiches.
Oh my god, they were the size of 3 chicken sandwiches.
They look
Um,
it.
it was nuts.
I mean, compare
Um,
it to the knife right there. I mean, it's
yeah,
those look
Those
are
was on top of
monstrosities.
them like giving us dinner rolls And then also like with the salad came like their chicken dumpling soup, which was amazing. And the salad we had, the um the salad with the boysenberry dressing
Yeah.
was freaking amazing. One of the best salads we've had in a long time.
Here's a video of Ghost Town that we were just talking about, all
Yeah.
decorated for the holiday season.
And the really cool thing at night is they do every hour it snows along with music and a little bit of a light show, and that was really cool.
That's cool.
And there's multiple holiday shows. Like we didn't see them all. We saw the Snoopy Ice Show, which was really fun.
Here's the snow.
Yeah, there's the snow that they do at night, and it's thick. It's like blizzard type
thick snope.
not as crazy as the snow used to be on Hollywood Boulevard after Jingle Bell Jingle Jam.
Yeah, it's still pretty bad. Emily and I were there that night for Phantasmic, and it's still pretty bad there.
Oh, so they do still do the snow?
They still do the snow. They do it at
on Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, because we were right there next to Rosie's All American Cafe, and they still crank. Yeah. You can hear the Snope machines come on. Yeah, and they start cranking out the Snope. So,
but that was really neat. Hang Time has like a light show on it. We got to see Crazy Kirk and the Hillbillies, which used to be Billy Hill and the Hillbillies at Disneyland for the longest time, and they had a fun holiday show.
How was Calico Mine Ride?
Calico, this was the first time I've been on it since they updated it.
Yeah,
and it is amazing now.
Yeah,
I mean, even Sin had never been on it before so she never saw the original version. And it's just the amount of like halfway decent animatronics in that thing is awesome. I mean, it's like I said, it is Calico was always a must do. It's definitely a must do now. We rode the Berry Tales ride. That was fun. The ops on it weren't the greatest, but it was a fun shooter ride.
The light show on
Hang Time.
Hang Time looks really cool for the holiday season. They sync it up to some Christmas music.
Yeah, they sync it up to Christmas music. It was just it. I will say Knott's Merry Farm outside of like
there's some merchandise.
It's one of the best holiday events I feel like out there. It's up there. After Disneyland, it's up there with Dollywood's holiday event.
There's a look at one of their bigger trees. I'm guessing that's like the main tree.
That's the main tree.
Yeah.
And Knott's is just a fun park. It's got it's not Disney level theming, but it's got its own charm. It's got its own level of theming that's halfway decent.
Yeah.
If you love the Peanuts characters, then it's definitely the place to go.
Yeah.
Like I said, we only saw like a few of the holiday shows. There's a ton. There's I think 7 or 8 holiday shows alone.
Yeah, here's Crazy Kirk and the Hillbillies.
Yeah, they're always fun. And it's the first time seeing them in Knott's after seeing them at Disneyland for years.
Yeah.
It's just Knott's is a fun park.
And this is Snoopy's Night Before Christmas.
Yeah.
This is a skating show, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ice skating show.
Yeah.
It was really well. The production value on that show was I feel like the skating in SeaWorld's show is better. The production value of that show was light years against
my mom would love that show. She loves Snoopy.
Yeah, and Knott's, like I said, Knott's Merry Farm is definitely one of the best holiday events in the country. Like I said, if you go to Disneyland, you got to go to Knott's Berry Farm. It's right there. It was literally like it's barely 10 minutes from Disneyland.
Yeah, it's a hop, skip, and a jump away from Disneyland.
Yeah, and it's like I always tell people it's like you got to go to Knott's Berry Farm, and it's out of the Cedar Fair parks, it is the best. Usually has the best entertainment, theming, and food compared to all the other Cedar Fair parks.
Yeah, we'll get out. I've never been to Knott's Berry Farm, so one day I'll get out there. I've heard my first visit, I want it to be during Knott's Scary Farm because I've heard Scary Farm is amazing.
That's the one thing
Um,
left I need to do new at Knott's is Knott's Scary Farm,
so I
and
want to start off. I want to start off on the right foot with Knott's Berry Farm and do Scary Farm for my first
no,
visit. It,
I know it's crazy as much as we all love Halloween and Halloween events. It's like the original one is the one basically almost all of us here at ThrillGeek haven't had a chance to go do
yeah,
is not Scary Farm. And
one day we'll get out there. So
one day we'll get out there and hopefully, fingers crossed, I might actually be back in Disneyland beginning of sometime next year after the Disney 100 stuff. Which once again, let's you know let's
we'll have to get out there soon
make
with the
things
kids.
even worse when it comes to comparing Disneyland to Disney World, as Disneyland's about to get updated Toontown, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, a brand new
They announced the
fireworks
parades
show.
coming back that had a
The
run
parade,
for a couple months before COVID.
the parade's coming back, a brand new version of World of Color.
Yep, yep.
This is all after getting Avengers Campus and it's,
Yep.
whatever. But everyone knows we have rant and raved about how much Disneyland gets compared to what we get. So.
Yeah.
But,
we know we're neglected over here. It's not unknown.
We're the cash cow. But we'll see. Well, Iger's back. We'll see if some things that maybe
yeah, literally within the last couple weeks here, so much has happened. This was another reason why we started to get back into the stream here is because a lot of news has started to drop, and so we'll keep rocking and rolling with this time frame. I think we finally figured out a day and a night or a day and a time, I should say, that works. We started a little night tonight, and then we had the technical issues, but I think we're going to shoot for Tuesdays at 8:30.
Yeah.
For the live stream every week. So
except for holidays.
Yeah, except for holidays. We're going to do the next 2 weeks, and then we're going to take Christmas week off, and then we'll be back at the beginning of January.
And so, and more than likely, the next 2 weeks, we're going to sort of take a look back at the last year. We'll be able to talk about things like Iger returning and Chapek being fired, and
we'll get into that and
some of our favorite TV and movies, and maybe we'll probably talk about Halloween Horror Nights. So
if I can remember it,
yes,
the way my brain is,
I know
I've already moved on.
It's like it was only like literally 36 days ago.
Yeah,
and it's already like this distant memory because I've done so much since,
like I said, literally Halloween ended and we left for the cruise, and it was nonstop, like I said at the beginning of the stream, like the entire month of November for me. So for me to remember Halloween Horror Nights I'm gonna have to put an effort into it. But maybe we can go back and we can chit chat about our final thoughts about Halloween Horror Nights and some other goodies here on the stream, and just still kind of get caught up on things because there's a lot to talk about, and we wanted to get back into things here. I'm glad we were able to finally figure this thing out. It looks like everything worked properly once we got the Barry's audio issue figured out. Looks like everything worked smoothly for those watching. Hopefully everything looked good, sounded good. Let me know if anything didn't, and I'll tweak it and finesse it. We're going to try and get I'm going to try and get, I don't know if it's going to be Emily, whoever. I do have a setup for 3 people, a different scene, and stuff. So there's still some stuff that we got to work out and all that stuff. So anyways, guys, thanks for everybody for tuning in the chat. We appreciate you as always for tuning into the live stream. And like I said, we will be back every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on both the YouTube and Twitch channels, the ThrillGeek YouTube and Twitch channels.
And one last thing I just want to mention before we leave is, as fun as like Sin and I had last week, there was some tragedy last week. And, basically at the start of our trip, Sin and I found out we lost our best friend, Bob.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
If you followed our VI when we've gone on Disney and VIP tours, it was basically thanks to him and his family.
Yeah.
That was, it was hard to like. He was an incredibly nice person, one of our best friends, and it was definitely a hard loss. And then I think we all felt later in the week when the tragedy happened at Magic in the Sky fireworks. Basically us, the entire community, lost Landon Borland, David Gonzalez, and especially Lindsay Phillips, who is friends with a bunch of us here at Thrill Geek. Um, that really, really um, affected a lot of us and a lot of our friends.
Yeah, there
And
was. I woke up. I had heard about the fire at the warehouse, uh, and there was when people, like, when I get on Twitter and I see people talking about somebody had passed away, and I try to get some basic information of who it was, what happened, because I do want to eventually, after the initial shock, help out in any way, shape, or form that I can. That's why I shared the GoFundMe on the Thrill Geek Twitter. So if anybody else finds any other official ways to help out with any of these people that passed away in the fire.
And there's still a couple who were injured who I know.
Yeah,
one of them I know. Another girl, Lindsay, is still in the hospital.
Yeah, there were two Lindsays, and I was at first I was confused which one had passed away, which one was in the hospital.
I will say that's what confused me until like Emily cleared it up that it was Lindsay Phillips, the Lindsay we know.
Yeah,
who passed away, and it's like I wasn't. We follow, Lindsay, I think we all mutually followed each other a lot. Emily and I think Kelly were closer to her. But I knew her and I would see her. She's incredibly talented. Things were really going her way.
yeah.
Nicest, sweetest person. We'd always say hi and chat. And it just, all the thing that makes, and this was already a tragedy, but the fact that Landon was 24, David was 22, Lindsay was 23 years old.
Yeah, they were all really young.
It's just way too soon. And like we said, we have a lot of people who are really close friends, a lot of people who went to school with Lindsay. At SCAD, and it's just.
And I think SeaWorld, because they
have not been running.
They paused their fireworks show. I don't know if it was out of respect for what happened, or if it was more of like a supply issue. Because I saw conflicting reports online that it was out of respect for those that had passed away due to the fire.
Yeah.
But like I said, if anybody sees any, I shared the GoFundMe on there. If anybody sees any other official, not anybody trying to scam anybody or anything, because, unfortunately with tragedies like these, you have people that are, they take advantage of it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I don't want to support that. But if anybody sees any kind of fundraising GoFundMes that are official for any of these victims, please send it my way. Email it to me. You can email it to the Thrill Geeks email, thrillgeeks@gmail.com. And I'll be sure to share it out there. So
rest in peace, Landon, David, and Lindsay.
Yeah. It's the least we can do. As one of, a theme park, news outlet, I want to help in any way I can. If anybody knows me as a person, I'll do anything I can to help out. So anyways, I think that's it. Let's get on out of here and wrap things up.
All right.
Do you want to get us out of here, Barry? Do you remember how to do our
spiel?
I even
remember this? Let's see.
Do you remember your spiel?
Hold on. All right, here we go. We are at ThrillGeek on Twitter, Instagram, and the TikTok. Facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Please like and follow our Facebook page. YouTube.com/ThrillGeek. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will have videos coming to you from Avengers Campus and Disneyland coming on our YouTube channel. Full videos and also some YouTube shorts, all from Disneyland, DCA, and probably maybe some stuff from Knott's. Of course, twitch.tv, which also our live streams are.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/ThrillGeek. And then, of course, ThrillGeek.com for the latest in theme park and pop culture news.
And we have another thing.
Yeah.
Discord. Be sure to join our Discord server.
Yes. I'm going to have to figure out how to add that one in.
I can plug the Discord server. Leave that to me.
You can plug in Discord.
Leave the Discord server to me, because that's been kind of my thing.
Please join our community on Discord. A lot of lets us talk about a lot of things that we got pop culture channels, tech channels, specific park channels, international park channels, general chat. As long as you follow the rules, you can join our Discord channel.
Yeah, it's a fun little community. We got some really cool people on there. We're talking about all sorts of things. Like Barry said, we got channels for everything. Disneyland, Disney World, Universal Orlando. So it's I have it set to where the link refreshes like every week, I think.
Yeah.
It's a new link. I can change it to where it changes never. I may change it to that. But I throw it up occasionally on the Thrill Geek Twitter. It's not, I think you have to sign up for the paid version of Discord to get like a custom join link or something like that. Like it's to have like discord.com/thrillgeek or whatever it is. I'd have to pay for it, which I really don't want to do right now. But yeah, so keep an eye out on our social media, mainly Twitter for the Discord, for the Thrill Geek Discord join link. So without that, let me get my music going here so I can get us on out of here. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in to the stream. Glad to be back. It was fun chatting once again with Barry. Like I said, we'll try and have somebody else on, whether it's Emily, Travis, whoever, maybe in the near future here. So anyways, take care, be safe, guys, and we will see you next week.
Bye. See you in the parks.